Hello everyone, and as you can tell from the title, April Fools may have come and gone already, but the fools of April are still here in the arena today. So let me just get things set up. Where's the jester? Do I somehow not have that DLC installed or something? Ah, it's because I haven't... I need to set up the house rules first. Right, I'm gonna go with revealed ending. I might... Yeah, no respawn. Choose characters, not standard characters only. Right, so we're going to have every expansion except for Cataclysm and the Harbinger enabled. And let's throw in the legendary decks as well. Ooh, actually... Well... having the characters from Cataclysm and the Harbinger don't affect anything. Could, however, maybe have... Nope. Alright, alternative endings. There's one specific ending that I want. Yeah, Battle Royale. Alright, so I don't think I will go for... I don't think I will go for Talisman Bloodbath. Because... what does that would mean? Because, well... I don't think I will go for... her single talisman, because that could mess with the Battle Royale ending. You know, it could get in the way of having that ending be anything more than everybody else loses the game except for the clown that got to the Crown Command first. Right, so now we can set up our bozos. Right, Jester. Alright, all of our jesters are allocated. Might disable Ancient Beasts. You know what? Actually, no. Let's see how jesters fare against like kaiju-esque monstrosities. Right. during the game. Just gonna go for a nice even split. And also, I have a clown name generator that, you know, handily, he generates 6 at a time. So let me just do one thing real quick before we get going. So that looks to be about like a 14-point font. Give it a nice opaque background. Alright, there we go. Now we've got, just gotta extend it. Then whoops. I need to paste, copy, paste a duplicate. Really should have done this before going live. Because I'm sure this is not the most entertaining thing. Right, so we have our sort of POV, sort of a POV in the form of Soots. We have Frosty. Shorty, who fittingly has a shorter name tag. Waldo. Bronco. And finally, Doodles. Alright, we have all of our clowns named and ready to roll. So let's get this show on the road. Right. First things first, Haunted Hamlet. The Hamlet will remain here for the rest of the game. If you visit the Hamlet during the day, treat it as if you were visiting the village. If you visit the Hamlet during the night, you must move one spirit from any region to this space. Right. Ooh. Soots has immediately gained 1 craft. So Soots has gained a distinct advantage. But who knows how long that will be such a specific advantage over the rest. We have Frost defying a Spectre. Right. Frosty has survived that challenge. And next up is Shorty, who has impressed his Soots. Because the Jester has the ability, when you encounter a creature, instead of attacking a character, you may impress them with their skills and take 1 gold from them. Admittedly, that's probably going to end up slowing things down a little bit. Unfortunately, I have no way of making it to where, like, none of the Jesters have any gold. Right, Waldo has gone into the city. Now Bronco got 5, and is heading towards the church. However, he's encountered a magic portal, taking him right to the Warlock's cave. Oh, and there's an earthquake, which I believe may have just destroyed the magic portal. Yep, and the haunted hamlet. It's an early sort of board clear. Right, Soots has gotten and double all tokens. Let's see. We can go to either the crags or the hills or the Square of Kings. Let's head to the hills, since that's just a regular old draw 1 card. Here we find an altar. The altar will remain here for the rest of the game. Roll 1 die. I had to pray with the following results. Come on, extra turn. And Soots has gained an extra turn. Earn another distinct advantage. And so now you can head to the woods or to the tavern. Now let's head down to the tavern, where we could perform. Right, so looks like we are heading into the middle region next turn. Where we will join Bronco. Right, so it is now Frosty's turn. Frosty's also gone into the city alongside Doodles. Shorty has encountered a legendary Eerie Vanguard. So now there's going to be 5 cards from the Highlands deck on top of the regular adventure deck. Waldo has purchased some armor. And Doodles was about to be encountered by the lycanthrope, but was able to redirect. Redirected to Waldo. Waldo tried to re-roll the roll a 2 into something else, but got a 2 instead. Right, Waldo is half dead already. And if Waldo dies, he ain't coming back. You know, the gladiatorial pits of Rome were less brutal than in the Bozo Battle Royale. Because we're in the gladiatorial pits of Rome. But they took care they let their warriors live. Whereas here, only one shall survive. So far, you know, Soots has the advantage in terms of stats. Right. Heading into Temple. Soots has gained a spell. Or maybe not. Yeah, no, that's one more craft instead. Hey, I'll take it. Right, Frosty, still in the city, meandering around, encountering a corrupt sheriff, and just barely avoiding getting thrown in jail, and instead getting Doodles thrown in jail and in their place. Right, Shorty is up. The Grim Reaper has returned to his original position and from the Portal of Power. Shorty has found a lodestone. Waldo is remaining in the city from the looks of it. Yep. Encountering a shady dealer. So Waldo could... Let's see... Interesting that... I think maybe this... Oh. Believe... Waldo is out of money. So... And... Oh... And... Only through fate that Doodles was able to escape prison. Right, it's Soots' turn. Can head on over to the Oasis. Find a fairy glade and a legendary hobgoblin. Fate inhabit this place, inviting you to join them in their mad and merry dance. When encounter, draw one woodland card and add to this space. Ooh, Green Man. If you are neutral, you gain 1 life. If you are good or evil, you lose 1 life. The Green Man then vanishes off to the discard pile. Oof. Well, that's 1 life lost. Gonna try and confuse. Wait, so let's see, did I successfully confuse? No. Roll and die and at your fate. Until it's higher than the creature's strength or craft, you may evade it. I think I was probably supposed to re-roll that. Oh well, it's a standoff anyway. Again, even if I had re-rolled it, I wouldn't have... If I had re-rolled it, I would have actually worsened the odds since it's plus fate. Because like anything other than a 1 would have succeeded. That's certainly going to add to the longevity of our Jester's stay. Speaking of longevity, such as King Visit from the Grim Reaper. Let's not reroll that, because I'd rather not risk Sutz's life being cut too short. Alright, it's Waldo's turn. Dragon Rage is occurring. Fortunately, Waldo had a useless piece of paper to sacrifice. He's, instead of losing his armor, I believe Bronco just did something. Yeah, Bronco gave a Draconic Slumber token to the legendary Hobgoblin. And Bronco has also gained a spell. You know, the spell that could have been such as if not for the unfortunate Dark Fate reroll. Which, since his turn, Chasm or Runes. Going to head to the runes. Tricks and treats. If you land on another character, you may take one object of your choice from them and give them this card. This counts as your encounter for the turn. You got a third way to encounter a character. Right. Frosty has purchased a scroll, so now we have 2 magic jesters. And Shorty has acquired the Pharaoh's Crown. So now he can enforce enemies to re-roll all attacks. I'm sure Waldo would have appreciated that kind of power. Then again, he just confused the Bravo. So he's able to evade. And Bronco tried to reroll but couldn't. Ended up rolling a 3 and then another 3. Right, Doodles has entered the catacombs. It's back to Soots. 6. We head over to the Warlock's Cave to try and get quest for a talisman. Deliver a 7-point trophy. Probably going to want to go for that via a craft, if possible. So maybe head into the Highlands, as that is where aircraft-based enemies tend to appear. That and the Realm of Souls. I believe Frosty is now going to be spending the next turn or two who's scooping dung. Already has encountered a legendary Sky Seeker. Successfully confused and evaded. Waldo has entered into the black market. First encountered a scribe in the Pantheon. Did not opt. Sadly, Waldo does not have any money still, so he was unable to make any illicit purchases. Bronco has now left and found a legendary market. Doodles has found a skeleton key. So now it's time for Soots to depart from the middle region. Hopefully they will survive. Well, a mirror shield should help, but then again, a mirror shield only cares about psychic combat, so it's actually going to be the combat that Soots is least likely to fail. The Bravo is now sleeping. Purdy has returned from a brief venture. Ooh, the Dragon Spire. There has entered play. Now, there's a second route through to the Crown of Command. But here's the catch. You still want to have a talisman because... Actually, hold on. Quick. L'Oreal. What characters that do not have a talisman except for the... Actually, if you can manage to enter there without a talisman, you're fine. And in fact, the optimal strategy is to get to the Crown Command before anybody else can get a talisman, because then you win by default. Right. Shorty is encountering the werewolf. Shorty does not have any followers. So he just lost 1 life. Doodles is continuing. Oh, Doodles is leaving in the catacombs and running into a heretic priest. Fortunately, it looks like if Doodles made an attempt him to confuse it, it failed. It's his turn once again. Getting down to the Sentinel. Counting space, draw an adventure card. Restless Dead. Take all trophies from all characters and shuffle them, starting with their space and continuing clockwise. Place 1 enemy face up in each space until all of the cards have been placed. Then discard this card. I think there was only like 1 trophy, so this should be an easy fight. Since Soot has twice the craft of this enemy. Unfortunately, it's not a 7-point trophy, so it doesn't count for the Warlock's quest. Right, Shorty has entered the Highlands. And it looks like we've got a couple legendary cards that's coming up in the Highlands. Right, Waldo now has a quest to kill a dragon. Speaking of dragons, Bronco's having to deal with some dragon rage. And he has no followers, so he has to take the 1 damage. Now he's terramorphing. He's terramorphed the chapel into some crags, cutting off his rivals all the easiest place to heal, but also his own. That should make things a bit more interesting. Right. It's his turn. Dragonspire. Just head over to the Dragonspire. Dragon Scale. Ooh, Verdant Altar. The altar will remain here for the rest of the game. Roll 2 dice and pray here with the same results as at the temple. But first, gotta encounter the Dragonspire. You may add 1 to the score for each dragon scale in this region and for each dragon scale you have. Alright, so it's an 8, so just drawing a dragon token. It's just a Grillipus token. It's not enough to push. I think it was actually enough to... Now Dragon Rage was suffered. Right. So rolling for the temple. Gonna reroll at least 1 of those. I'll take the +1 strength. especially any day over being enslaved to Grillipus. Right, Frosty has encountered important. So everybody gets a Warlock quest. Those out of the granted, only 2 didn't already have one. Doodles has gotten the easiest. There's one in the form of simply having to wait 2 turns. So Doodles has gained a distinct advantage in the race to get a talisman, but what he lacks is the ability any ability to actually get much of anywhere with that. Although that does get in the way of any potential sort of speed strats as that could be employed. Right, Bronco has encountered a Dracolich. That could be prime target for a way to for Ursets to gain their 7+ point trophy. But it could also be an easy way for Suts to die. So there's also that. Although the Dracolich does now have a life counter on it, so Suts can defeat this thing, they'll gain 1 life as well, which is very valuable because since the biggest source of healing has been cut out of the game. Doodles is waiting 2 turns. Right. He has entered the Highlands. And is about to get fucking murdered by a Craft 15 legendary Stormwing. Well, they've got at least a 1 in 3 chance of survival via Mirror Shield. And the Mirror Shield saves Suts. Or not. As unfortunately I have no clue who I would give some credit to whoever just successfully murdered Suts. Oh, but wait. Because the Realm of Souls is enabled, Suts has a chance to come back. Suts is now a ghost. So all Suts has to do is just gain at least 1 point of life and return to their body. They are free to try again. Granted, they have lost their Mirror Shield, so and this will also be a significant setback. Unfortunately, I don't believe you have to encounter any creatures on the space where your body is. It is one to come back. Of course, since it's also at their most vulnerable, since now they're one life away from them dying permanently. Right. Bronco is... Alright, we have our first Jester battle of Bronco versus Waldo. They're both get -1 from the Jester ability. But it is Bronco that succeeded and stole Waldo's armor. Right, Duels has finished their waiting time, but they opted for treasure card and then got a talisman anyway, huh? It's the 10th round. So now we also have Ganymai. I don't believe we've seen this beast before. At the end of each round, Ganymai crosses Storm River to the space which is furthest clockwise. Each time Ganymai moves, it leaves behind a wellspring named Rain card. When Ganymai moves into a wellspring, it heals 1 life. It then moves 1 space clockwise. Characters on the same space as or adjacent to Ganymai at the end of their turn may remove 1 life from Ganymai to heal 1 life to replenish 1 fate. If a character would be killed whilst on the same space as or adjacent to Ganymai, that character may choose to kill Ganymai to prevent their death and heal 1 life. That's kind of amazing. Especially since we have this drought of easy ways to gain life. Maybe thanks to the chapel being destroyed. You're gonna head over to the ruined mine. Space does not matter other than its relative positioning. Choose another character on the board not in the end region. Move to that space and face him in psychic combat. If you defeat the character, you gain lives equal to the life total. They lose 1 life. If they become a ghost character, you may be resurrected. Sadly, nobody's on the brink of death except for Suts. So might as well just go after Doodles. Since they've got the highest life total, but lowest craft. Right, rerolling. Right, 11. Gained 3 life. And Duel has lost 1 life. So now just gotta make... The Houses just needs to make their way back to their body. Of course, he attempted to get into the middle region, but that failed. However, they were able to drink Arcane's brew and survive. Waldo is encountering a Gallippus scale and to draw 4 cards and take 1. And from the looks of it. And Bronco's heading to another Dragon Scale. If you can get some Dragon Scales, that's potentially a massive advantage. Because in order to, because that's 1 point towards being able to activate the Dragon Spire that you have exclusively. Although, if you are the one, if you enter the, if you reach to the Crown Command, Doodles will automatically join you. Because Doodles does have a talisman. See, only Doodles is the only jester to successfully procure such an item. Right, so it's heading down to the Cursed Glade and find the King of the Dead. The strength of 13, craft of 13. Before you encounter the King of the Dead, if your knight goes away, you are killed. You must attack the King of the Dead in either battle or psychic combat. If you defeat him, you may move to the Crown Command where you are resurrected and healed up to your life value. Could be really good if Soots could actually pull this off. Especially if Battle Royale lets you... Nope, Battle Royale... Okay, when a character attacks, it may choose to find Battle or Psychic Combat. Alright, so... if this can get to the Crown Command, they can fight Doodles in Psychic Combat. They'll also still have, they'll already have the advantage in regular battle, just less so in comparison to Psychic Combat. Shorty is getting hit by a boulder. Waldo has immediately lost that one spell. Once again. And Jester has decided to impress rather than fight. Oh, and Bronco has been sent back to the city. Doodles is returning to the Warlock's Cave to fight Gallippus Shaman. Managed to evade through confusion. So it's his turn. Turn once again. Which I lost one of those life points. Draw a Veil card. Chill Wraith. Three. Yeah, that's a win. Right, regained that 1 point. Oh, and Frosty has become a toad. So now, for the time being, we effectively only have 4 jesters rather than and you know, full 6. And Waldo just got a boon from the Reaper. Ooh, a legendary magic stream. And it's on a wellspring. I think Ganmai might be one of the most interesting thing of the beast, because like it's one of the few we've seen that hasn't been like very hostile. Because like Ganmai actively helps those characters instead. By providing, you know, places to get some healing. And with the lack of a chapel, well, that's very useful. Right. Doozles is fighting a Vapor Draken. The Vapor Draken that gets a +2. And they're going to be missing their next turn on top of losing 1 life. Hey, Duels is no stranger to missing turns. And Waldo is going to be battling the Grim Reaper in a dice battle. I think Bronco might be about to depart to the realm of souls. Maybe? I mean, he's got armor and a mace. But it's gonna be up to that armor to save him. You know what? Well, I tried. But Bronco survived that turn. Reach. Let's see. Ultra Spectre. Oh. Oh no. When revealed with false spirits in every region of the space, it will remain here until it is killed. Hey, at least I only had to fight the King of the Dead. Made no difference effectively, but you know, at least it wasn't fighting all of those spirits all at once. Plus it means that Suts can now head into the Highlands and retrieve their body without interference, with any potential interference from that 15 Minecraft enemy. Well, actually, I think maybe part of it might just be that the Storm Ring is still on the, well, not in the realm of souls. It's like all the spirits are on this space, but half of them couldn't engage in the battle because they're on the wrong side of the veil. Right. Bronco. We know that's Waldo. Bronco is up. Bronco is on deck. Waldo is potentially getting bodied by a dragon. Yep. Things are looking real rough. At least. Yep, and it's an 11. And so Waldo lost a life point. But unlike Bronco's not at the, like Bronco and Doodles, Waldo's not on the brink of death. Although Royal Vizier can pretty much join anyone because nobody's evil currently. Right, Doodles has missed a turn due to being frozen. Right. Haunt. If you do not defeat the Haunt, you must take it as a follower. Or while the Haunt is your follower, all your attack rolls are reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1. Discard the Haunt if you visit the chapel or the graveyard. Well, it would have to be the graveyard because there is no chapel. Fortunately, the Haunt has been defeated. When Reaper was just shy of encountering somebody. However, the werewolf can certainly go after Bronco. Tags with a strength of 8. You know what? No. Lose 1 life and then immediately roll again on this chart. I wonder, how does that work? Yeah. It could potentially lead to... has potential... So we now have a lycanthrope ghost? Bronco has contracted lycanthropy while being a ghost. We've got some Toad versus Boar action that is naturally not going well for the Toad. Although, I mean, they have the same strength, interestingly enough. Like, a toad is equally as strong as a boar. Shorty is continuing on deeper into the highlands, but might end up becoming a toad. Yep. Well, we have 2 toads now. Doodles has come in to clean up this wild boar. Or that Frosty was sadly unable to defeat. Actually, no, I think... No, it was Shorty that was unable to defeat the wild boar due to being a toad. New judgment. And for Bronco. You're punished for your sins, lose 1 life. Bronco is dead. Permanently. Alright, we are down to 5 from 6 as Bronco has been punished for his earthly sins. And is now presumably suffering in Jester Hell. Now it is time for Soot to make a comeback. Right, Soot is back in the realm of the living with 3 health. Unfortunately, I'm not sure where the Dracolich is. I think it might be dead already, or something, or maybe it was relocated. Maybe it's a spirit. Have to track it down. Actually, might have been run over by the boulder, maybe? Depending on where the legendary boulder originated from. Right. Waldo has purchased some draconic scales. Neil's possibly going to be crafting some kind of invention. Oh, and Doodles is dead. Except... Doodles sacrificed Ganymai to keep on living. Doodles no longer has any money, but does have an additional life point. Yep. Even despite attempts to force a reroll. Right. Yeah, all my stuff is here. Stormwing and the Skyseeker over here. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to the Dracolich. Hey, I just gained 1 gold from being led across the ridgeway. Or not. Okay. I didn't need 1 gold anyway. You know, it's good enough just to get across safely. You know, the big thing that I need is either more dragon scales or a 7+ point trophy. All those now. Now we're carrying Dragon Fury. For the next two rounds, everybody draws double tokens, which means that sometimes it can be triple or even quadruple. All these well springs are gonna make things take me considerably longer. Although just, you know, as soon as somebody can get to the Crown of Command, that's going to need to sell a lot of things. Especially if it's Doodles, since they've got the one talisman out of everybody. Let's see. Let's go to this Ghidorah scale. Let's see what we find there. An ancient dragon. Fantastic. Time to lose one life and then also suffer Ghidorah's Dragon Rage and lose another one life. If it puts us now back to the brink of death. But they're still better off than in Bronco. Since, you know, Bronco is just completely gone. Right. Shorty is having to continuously just hop around one space at a time. Waldo is carrying a dragon scale, but significantly easier enemy. The onset dragon scale. That was kind of a cheap way to complete the quest to defeat one dragon, but hey, they probably didn't write that quest as with the dragon expansion in mind. Doodles is now heading into the woodlands and becoming rune-bound. Then immediately fighting an Earthbreaker. Dragon Skull Wand, I guess gets discarded. Right. Such is on the brink of death again. So let's hope that this Ghidorah scale ends up being a bit better. Really, it can just encounter the space. Yeah, that's significantly better. To just have to fight a crawling hand. Especially one that rolled a 1 during the day, so it's just 1. Right, moving the Grim Reaper. You know what? You can head over and pay Doodles a visit. Then has to lose 1 life. Yep. Doodles has lost 1 life. And I'll send the werewolf down there too. Wait. A caravan. Just the ability of once per visit you may pay 3 gold to do the following. If it is day, gain 1 strength. If it is night, gain 1 craft. Then roll 1 die and move the caravan that many spaces clockwise. Waldo has gained the ability to just move to any space. He's within the range of his die roll. He's attempting to confuse an eventide invoker. He failed. And paid dearly for it in the form of 1 life. Right, Julius has ventured further down into the woodlands and lost also 2 gold. It is now Sitz's turn. Head over to this Gallippus scale. Really can just encounter space here. Atlas of Al-Balki. Al-Balki was the greatest cartographer the world has ever known. This atlas is his greatest work. During your turn, you spend 1 fate to move 1 train card or 1 fireland token from 1 space in your region to another space in the region. So I could actually... Yeah, I'm going to use that immediately. Move terrain. Continue. Just gonna sort of move these crags off of the chapel, so now everybody has access to the chapel again. It has been unburied. Oh, and the dragons are fighting. So there's 2 fewer, more powerful dragons on the board. Frosty has gained a blessing of 3 Dark Fate. Moved both the Reaper and the Werewolf to the exact same spot. Other things, so they're rolling 2 6s. Shorty's become a person again. And thankfully, he did not become a toad again immediately. By trying to go for their stuff again. Right, Dragon Rage. There goes the Draconic Scale. Hey, you usually use Dragon Scales to avoid Dragon Rage. Just not the Draconic Scale Hill card. Alright, we've got a Jester battle between Soots and Waldo. It looks like alright, Soots is dead again. This time at the hands of Waldo. I want to say it was Waldo that also... Let's see. Check the log. Okay, it's too far back, I think. So sadly, I have no means of checking exact... I want to say it was Waldo that turned the chapel into the crags. So maybe it's payback for undoing that work. Right, we've got the Heart of Night. Heart of Night can carry an extra object for you. If you lose an attack, you may not take either the heart or the object stored inside. Similarly, neither may be taken by any character's special ability or spell. If you lose a heart, you also lose any object stored inside. Hey, that's a handy thing to have. Just gotta hope that I don't run into any like majorly powerful enemies. Because otherwise, Soots is dead. Well, legendary carrion crows. I believe it just has like one more craft than normal. It was easily defeated by a shorty. Right. Need an astral conjunction. Everybody gets to gain spells if their craft allows. Unfortunately, I don't think that includes ghosts. Nope. It does not in fact allow ghosts to gain any spells. But Doodles continuing to venture into the woodlands. I think Waldo's looking pretty powerful. I think Waldo might end up being a contender for the champion. And at the end of all of this, and they're a new legendary beast heading towards the nearest dragon. Burning Curiosity. As at the beginning of any character's turn, look at the top 5 cards of the adventure deck. I mean, that doesn't affect me at all, but okay. You know, go ahead and activate your thing. The serve sits his turn. Gotta gain a point of life before I can head back to my corpse. Right. Hero. When revealed, every character in every region must ditch one follower. There goes the Vizier, the Treasure Hunter, the Physician. Fortunately, this should be a fairly easy battle. Yep. I didn't even stand a chance. So I've got the one life needed to come back. And there's a spectral dragon. Doesn't really have much of an effect necessarily. Nope. Special ability, he doesn't really do anything. And since it's discarding spells. Right. Shorty has stolen the Clockwork Owl. Oh, Bronco is no more Waldo. Now has there's only 2 spaces to choose from each move. But he also just gained another point of strength. Like he's definitely the strongest his jester here. And in terms of craft, he's second only to Suts. We've got a knocker. Which just means it should just like adds things to the space depending on the like fate situation of whoever encounters it. I have to head over here because, well, I guess it could have head over there, but like that would cause me to lose my 1 life, and that's not good. Sure, of eternal hunger that seeks to feed the void within its twisted heart. When you encounter the wraith, you must discard 1 follower. I don't have any followers to discard, so that's perfectly fine. However, getting beat by it is not. There's nothing I can do about that. So I have to gain another 1 life. I hope to not lose a fight again, because otherwise Suts is dead. He's continuing to wonder about the Highlands. Got some healing. when Waldo has entered the woodlands. Turns Waldo's path. Path of the Unsully. As the start of your turn, you may replenish one Dark Fate. Yeah, honestly, with how antagonistic Waldo has been, kinda fits. Is it, you know? Sure, he may not technically be evil. Evil mechanically speaking. But, like, he's certainly been antagonistic. Right. Just hoping I don't encounter... Okay, now I definitely don't want to go over there. Because that's just certain death as of this point. The ghost. But I don't even have to encounter it because it's going over to the chapel instead. But that also means I don't get to encounter it unless I go to the chapel. So Frosty has also... There's only one non-living jester not in the woodlands, and that's Shorty. Maybe heading that way, since they seem to be heading out of the Highlands a little bit. Or they could just be going deeper back in. Finding a Talon Mage. Confusing. That's definitely a successful confusion. At the same time, like, why even bother to confuse at that point? I mean, like, seemed like the chances would have been pretty good. Like, Frosty is missing their next turn. Learn to do an encounter with the Reaper. Waldo. Let's see what exactly did that do. Burner. There is at this wall that the Norns spent in the destiny of all things. Choose a character to lose one light fate and gain one dark fate, or choose a character to lose one dark fate and you gain one light fate. You may spend 5 light fate or 5 dark fate to gain a destiny. So, well, it looks like Waldo caused one of the other jesters to gain dark fate. Right. And step over here. Deathstalker, you must take the Deathstalker, or as a follower, if you're defeating battlers that can combat and lose a life, you're killed. You may discard the Deathstalker if you defeat a creature or character in battle or sacred combat. I mean, I'm already going to be dead if I lose another fight, so it doesn't really change much. Currently, Oh, and Doodles became a toad at some point, and I completely missed that. I think Shorty might just be grinding, just bouncing back and forth between the same two spots. To try and get more stats. The Doodles is in a real rough spot right now. -2 and a toad. See, they're rolling with a -1. And total. All each turn. I'm gonna go fight this ghost. And hopefully not die. Destroy all spirits and veil cards on the board. Any ghost characters in the region lose 1 life. No! Boom! Just dead instantly. Well, there go those soots. So now our POV jester is gone. So now it's just time to watch these last 4. And you know what? I have no idea if the sound effect actually played. I think it did. I just couldn't really hear it over the music. Gonna have to maybe retool that a little bit. Let's see. I gotta wait for Streamlabs chatbot to catch on to my redemption. You know, I was gonna give a nice honk for our poor Soots, but if it played, it was so quiet that I couldn't really perceive it. You know, particularly in comparison to the music. Interesting that hasn't prompted me to fast forward, since there's a complete lack of any human players now. You know, it's just the AI doing its thing. Spare parts. It's like Frosty has gained one point to has gained one of the 3 items needed to craft an invention. He's continuing to wander around and found a legendary miner. And a rune gate and retrieved. He used it. Need to follow her And our Fowler. That went to Waldo. Waldo now has an item. Granting each of your followers adds 1 to your strength in battle. Any follower that fights in your place is 3 to their strength. You must ditch the banner if you do not have any followers. So that one scribe gives Waldo an additional 1 point. Hey Duels has returned to Jester form. He's just wandering in the outer region. Oh, and Shorty has decided to venture forth into the middle region. So I think we'll do much like last time. It's probably just keep at the normal pace until it gets to be around you know, end of stream time. And then I'll fast forward just so that we can close on somebody winning. You know, since the one human in control character is dead, it'll let us fast forward as much as we want. Which is currently 2:48 EST. So got about 1 more hour. Calland is continuing deeper into this region. I guess there's a dragon somewhere in there. Just so spread apart that not a lot is really happening right now, though Shorty could die soon. So that's definitely a thing that could happen. Yes, but especially with an encounter with a Grillipus scale. Oh, but wait, that's just a cultist, so Shorty was able to easily confuse and evade. Now that's what Calland is going after, I think, is Plague Dragon. You know, it's not in that region though, so no, and Waldo now could have had a talisman if not for the fact that he got launched back to the city. We've got legendary Amphitheater. Doodles has entered the Highlands and is taking all of that's old stuff. Right, Frosty can get any of those spaces, I guess. Just performing more at the tavern. Right, Shorty has encountered a sorcerer. doesn't really benefit from that at all whatsoever. And Reaper and the Werewolf go to the exact same spot right next to the tavern. And Waldo also rolled a 1 for movement and is fighting an Eastern Dragon. Try and confuse and failed. Then again, he's also got the best stats out of any jester still surviving, so he was actually able to beat that dragon pretty well. The Atlas, Drain. I just moved the wellspring to just right there for some reason. And Frosty is getting encountered with the werewolf. Because he already is already a lycanthrope, so they get +1 when rolling on the werewolf chart. And they're sending in the champion, who auto-lost. Probably would have been more effective for them to just fight themselves, because at least they could have used their armor and potentially not end up losing a follower. And we've got another beast. We've got the return of our old buddy from previous streams. He was a Tropa. Which unfortunately, since there's no human-controlled character anymore, I appear to have lost all ability to, like, check things directly. Something just happened. There's his rage. Why would Farthrex's rage cause everything to be sent to the discard pile? Nope, Titania's Gate didn't do anything. Yeah, I have no clue what just happened. But there's no more Dragonspire, so no, there's no chance for anybody without a talisman to just skip right to the Crown of Command. Alright, and we've got another Jester battle. This time it's Doodles versus Frosty. And it's a complete standoff. Got Dragonfire Skull. Waldo is encountering a Copper Wyvern. Some Dragon Charm. To evade it. Doodles is trick or treat and treating Waldo and stealing the Atlas. Which not like Waldo was doing much with it at this point. There's complete lack of any fate, I believe. Yeah, Waldo's completely out of fate, so it's not like he would have had a use for it until he gets a chance to gain some more anyway. We've got another Jester duel. Some between Shorty and Doodles. Right. Shorty has stolen the Draconic lore. See, and Frosty is losing one life and even rolling again on the chart. But looks like they're going to be able to just regain that lost life. Yep. This could go on for a while. Oh, we've got Miss Dragon. You must roll. You must use the highest attack. Unfortunately, was unable to confuse the dragon enough to evade, and wasn't saved by the shield. It's down to Doodles is down to one life, so you may see Doodles entering the realm of souls pretty soon. It's Frosty's turn. Frosty is heading to Varthrak Scale. There's a castle raid happening. And Shorty is also fighting the Mist Dragon. That seems like a bad idea, considering what happened to the last challenger. then again, I mean, Shorty's got more her life anyway, and a pharaoh's crown. But, like, that's not really gonna do a whole lot because you couldn't bring any the attack of the dragon down below. No, it was 6. At most could have brought it to, it was like 7. And since it had a -1, then for being daytime. Waldo's once again. Alright, Waldo has a talisman. And he's gained more craft. I think Waldo might win this. Especially if you can take Shorty down. And Frosty is getting a boon from the werewolf. Regaining fate. Right. Doodles has a very important turn. Depending on, right, Doodles did not encounter anything dangerous, so still alive currently. And we shall see how much longer that ends up lasting. Ooh, Draconic Decree. Well, things just got much more interesting. I think that's for sure. Oh, and I think this might be. Oh, wait, no, it's Waldo fighting all these dragons. Really, Waldo? You think this is a good idea? Well, I mean, got to evade them. So yeah, guess it was a good idea. I think this may be the end of Doodle's life. Wait. Oh no. The character you left rolls one die. Oh, but well. Didn't take them to somewhere where they're in too much danger. Especially since they managed to confuse the druid that they encountered there. Shorty has gone to the city, is having to fight a legendary haunt. Or might not have to fight a legendary haunt. Nope. Gonna have to fight it. But hey, they won. They defeated the legendary haunt. And gained a couple spells. Well, I think. Nope, just one. I don't know from the looks of it. Yeah, I think honestly this is gonna just cement Waldo's advantage. Or not, because he just had his ass beat. By a Ghidorah's archpriest. Oh, and sure he's incurring the werewolf. He's going to have to fight it with a strength of 8. But hey, you know, he's got his magic helmet. And Pharaoh's crown. Still can't drop that down low enough to actually make a difference. Oh, and it got rerolled. You know, the helmet roll got rerolled. It rolled into a 1. Right. Ghidorah's is forcing everybody to discard an object. Doodles is heading. I think Doodles might be about to die. Because. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, Doodles is dead. But, you know, it might come back. You know, they might be able to come back from the dead soon. They can just gain 1 life. Shorty, he's gained 1 point of strength. It's not much, it just brings him up to half of what Waldo has. But it's something. I think Waldo's probably gonna be the winner. Just judging by, you know, those stats. Of course, you know, Waldo could also get demolished by various enemies. They're just a little too strong for him. Veil card, Lemire. It's gonna be an easy fight. Or it could jinx Doodles and resulting in Doodles' death. That could also happen. Yeah, I'm going to mute. I'm going to pause the clown music. okay, for whatever reason the audio just isn't playing. And for the clown honks, it's not that it was like too low volume for me to hear it. I think I may maybe need to adjust its position in the hierarchy. Now, as soon as Streamlabs feels like registering my redemption, it should play the sound now. Oh, and Frosty has become a toad. Shorty is fighting a losing battle against a Frost Drake, but managed to pull through with... Nope. Did not manage to pull through. Oh, Waldo's half dead. What if Frosty just wins by just surviving? Like, not actually killing anyone, just being the only one left. Because everybody else died from being just kind of making horrible mistakes. Waldo, I mean, Frosty's the only one that's not half dead right now. Granted, they also just encountered a dragon scale, but they didn't even encounter any enemies. He's due to that dragon scale. Waldo keeps bringing dragon scales to himself, which just seems like it's... He gets playing with fire. Well, at least... Yeah, especially when he rolls a 1 on his attack. Which there was a 1 in 6 chance he could have been auto-defeated in that battle as well. Again, what do you expect from, you know, somebody whose entire profession is built around buffoonery? You know, of course he's gonna be dumb. Well, Frosty has taken 1 point of damage. But that's... like that. Frosty still has 1 life point on Shorty and 2 on Waldo. First, I think if Waldo dies permanently, it'll probably be through an event in the Veil deck. Like, you know, like for instance, a cleansing fire that happened to poor Sut's That's or something. Like, Waldo's definitely playing with fire by baiting dragons over to himself. At least he's got an advantage here. Because, you know, it was a fairly weak enemy. Oh, and we've got another beast. Let's see. Mirage. Tired of the seasonal rules, will restrict his time on slaying his cold to her desires to create an eternal winter. Each time you defeat Mirage, take a Frozen Winds Beast reward. If you buy Mirage, in addition to losing one life, you must miss your next turn. So you have 3 beasts on the board now. And Mirage automatically goes to wherever somebody draws an event. And everybody's having to move 1 space per turn. Or anytime they're in the same region as Mirage. Alright, we've got another Jester standoff. Between Frosty and Shorty. You have 2 of the 3 remaining Jesters. Slumbering Dragon. Waldo's going to evade Slumbering Dragon and just kill the cultist, potentially. He almost got murdered by the cultist instead. He does. He's out of dragon scale, so he can't run away from the dragons anymore. Unless he's able to get enough fate to evade them. Through confusion. But he just keeps baiting them over. Or sometimes he'll just bring it over a dragon scale and then not even use it for anything. Oh, and Frosty versus a green dragon. Frosty just got defeated by a green dragon. And Dragon Rage is happening. Fortunately for Waldo, it's only happening. And I think Shorty might be the next one to die. Yep. Shorty's about to end up in the Realm of Souls, or not. As Frosty opted to spare Shorty's life in exchange for gold. However, Waldo is dead now. Thanks to Grillipus's rage. So now the question becomes, will Waldo be able to come back from the dead? The answer currently is probably. Because you know, he's got good stats. The better your stats are, the higher chance you have of coming back from the realm of souls, especially when your first draw is a crawling hand. So already Waldo has managed to gain 1 life. So he could arguably come back anytime he pleases. Alright, we've got another duel between Frosty and Shorty. To get the feeling that these are going to happen quite often, and as long as Mirage is in the region. Right, Frosty lost this one, and lost their armor, or as a result. Divine Priestess, heal 1 life. Oh, and Waldo's already back. So probably has become absolutely as it just happened. Oh, and Shorty is having to lose 1 follower at random or 1 life, but fortunately they had a follower. So they aren't dying just yet. Frosty just lost to a Frost Drake, fittingly enough. Right, yet another duel between the 2 jesters. But you know, they're pretty much always within 1 space of each other, so these are gonna keep happening. Oh, and this time Frosty has lost 1 life. Maybe from the exchange. Waldo has returned to the city. And immediately lost 1 life from a place. Because he has no followers currently. Oh, and Frosty has also entered the city. So that's a good move. To just retreat to a different region. Well, I hope Shorty has a follower, and they do. Well, they did. Otherwise, they would be dead. Pied Piper and Night Guard. Waldo has decided to just murder these Night Guards while they're trying to rest. the Piper gonna start picking up enemies. So it's gonna be a increasingly more fatal stack of enemies in the city. Also, Perez will arrive in the city as soon as somebody draws an event. And on any of the spaces in the entire region. They're currently there to retreat from... Oh, and Shorty's having to fight the werewolf. So this may be Shorty's last battle on this side of the Realm of Souls. Or could just turn things around, completely. Yeah. It was gonna be a rough battle for the werewolf at that point. And that 2 definitely did not help. Now Shorty's having to encounter the Reaper and have a dice battle with him, so Shorty might just die here, depending on how the dice battle plays out. Yep, there goes Shorty into the Realm of Souls. And unlike Waldo, Shorty doesn't have fantastic stats. That's either. But they do have a sword. Waldo has brought the clockwork owl that I think used to be his at one point. Anyway, back into his possession. Ooh, Assassin's Conclave. See. Assassin's Conclave. I was just... Okay. It's a different thing that you can use to just straight up murder another player. Right, Shorty's ghost is just slowly heading through. I think Shorty's got a good chance now. Yeah, especially since he literally cannot be beaten by this Night Hag right now. So at least I've got one life point to work with. You know, they won't die immediately in their next battle. If they happen to lose. Alright, Waldo has defeated yet another enemy. Which is not really that surprising at this point. You're pretty much better off. If you want to see Waldo die, you're pretty much better off hoping for an event or place to do it or something. Okay, we've got the Traveling Bazaar. And that beast is in... Oh, and Shorty just lost their sword So... Oh, and also they're dead. So the sword doesn't matter anymore. Let's see if the honk feels like working now. Still nothing. No clue what that's about. Gonna have to work on that issue before next April. Lottery. Waldo has rolled a 5, and Frosty rolled a not a 5 or 6. So Waldo got 5 gold. It's down to just Waldo and Frosty. I think Waldo's probably got this at this point. Although, I mean, Frosty could come back. Frosty also just... I mean... Frosty just gained 4 life, so... just won a battle as well. Right, Waldo's also regained all of his life and retreated from the city, since that's where the beast that's making everybody move as slow as possible currently is. And Waldo's having to fight a Shadow Dragon. I think he's probably got this. It's a standoff. Hey, it's still not a loss. I think he might be about to try his hand at the door. Nope. He walked right on by. Instead. Another standoff. Still just, as you know, honestly waiting for things to happen at this point. Just It's 3:36 EST, so might end up fast forwarding soon. Which I think it's probably Waldo who's going to end up winning this. But you never know. Something wild could happen. Like Waldo losing a battle, for instance. Yeah, they're also so far away from each other, they're not really getting any chances to, like, clash at all. And neither of them seem to be going for the inner region. Well, probably because the only one with a talisman is Frosty. He's way out here. And I think Frosty just got demolished by the huge sack of dragons. But it doesn't really do much because this is just one life at this point out of 4. Waldo versus Heretic Priest. Pretty much decided as soon as it started. Not sure why the game even made those roles happen. And now Waldo's doing some gambling. Slumber and Birthrax. Street Sage and Shady Dealer are back. Frosty now has another talisman. And Waldo has lost his Exorcist Blade. Oh, and Waldo just drew an event, so now Yeah, oh, there's that beast again. And Waldo just lost a battle. All against a stack of dragons. So now Waldo's going to have to move one space per turn until somebody like draws another event somewhere. Well, more specifically until Frosty draws an event. Well, in another region. Right, successful evasion. But Waldo's gonna be able to just keep regaining his life as long as the path to the castle stays clear. And now, ooh, the Dragon Spire is back. And Draconic Decree is also back. Well then, Frosty is now in the inner region. Probably won't make it very far, but you know, with those stats, and the beast is now back to the middle region. I mean, actually, that just backing right out seems like it would be a horrible idea, honestly. So managed to get frozen winds by defeating the beast once. That's one of the easier beasts to fight because you can just keep bouncing back and forth from space adjacent to it as long as it doesn't move through somebody else drawing an event. Right, Frosty lost a life and is being just like pursued. Dude, now. Actually, what's the beast reward that Frosty got? That do? Passive power with Mirage. Connect limits your movement to one space per turn. You may add up to 3 to your movement. You may discard this card to force all other characters in this region to miss one turn. Neat. So Frosty now has the ability to move up to 3 spaces, to move up to 4 spaces. He uses it when in the same region as Mirage. So Frosty has a distinct advantage there. But yeah, they're kind of at a disadvantage too because of the number of you know, they need more stats to really be able to get much of anywhere. Dragon Fury, and Miraz is back to the outer region. Discarding spell. Stealing 1 token from Varthrax. Right. Waldo's triumphant once again. We're getting to the last quarter of an hour of the stream. I think maybe after this net, I think maybe like 350, I'll fast forward to the end. It's like this is going nowhere fast. At this point. Right now, though, I mean, progress is being made somewhat through these dragons just chipping away at Waldo, but he's probably just gonna come back again. And regardless of how much damage they do to him, you know, his stats are just that good. Right, Draconic Decree again. Only this time it's just the outer region affected. Plus, since he keeps being able to just go to the castle and heal, it's hard for him to die in the first place. Alright, it's 350, so let's just time warp to the end. Dang, the stats are going up like crazy. Like that's a thing that's happening. Alright, we have the climactic battle. You know, let's at least see this happen. The climactic battle between the 2 remaining talisman holders. Shang, how do you get 2 Blizzard's beards? There's a... So, all of the characters in your wait, no, it's not 2 Blizzard's beards. Poison Witch is especially effective against the ancient beast, which Suratu, who uses to protect her brood. So apparently Suratu... Yeah, Suratu was a thing for a little while apparently. But then just got utterly demolished. Yeah, there's no more healing other than like magic or something. I think Waldo's got this. Although, I mean... Yeah, especially since... Let's see... Just continuing attacking each other. Winner of the attack then chooses any other character to attack. Loser cannot be chosen unless they are the only other character remaining. If the... Oh, I think it's simply that, like, Frosty has no way of winning any of these battles. Like, unless Frosty can pull out a win, which they just don't have the stats to do that. I'm surprised it's not just an auto win. And for Waldo at this point, like, honestly, this is kind of anticlimactic, actually. Because it's just Waldo beating Jester, being, you know, another Jester to death. You know, poor Frosty. Just getting pounded into nothingness. Which I wonder, how does this interact with Realm of Souls? Because now... Oh, okay. They just go again. Just... This is the one time you can actually attack a ghost. That was without also being a ghost yourself. Elf, apparently. Alright. So that's a victory for Waldo. Hey, I got +1 battle, +1 versus characters, +1 on psychic combat 1 versus characters, 19 battles 1 versus, +14 battles 1 versus creatures, and +12 psychic combats 1 versus creatures. Right, thank you all for watching. Next stream will be tomorrow with probably some AI dungeon. Probably gonna be doing some world building for Tyros. Plus, depending on how long that takes, Eggs might do some other stuff. Right now, let's see if anybody else is live with Talisman. Nope. Doesn't look like any of my followers are live right now either, so... Looks like I will be leaving it up to AutoHost to decide who to go to, which... On my AutoHost list, there's exactly 2 people live, so... I'll be one of those 2 then.